that time again when we talk about what's trending in luxury fashion, where I help you get up to speed and stay ahead of the game. Links will be below or in the shopping prompt on the screen, kicking it off with fashion news. Copenhagen Fashion Week happened, and what did we see? I'm going to talk you through some of the highlights, but this gives us a bit of a preview as to the sorts of trends that we're going to see come September when Fashion Month rolls around. We had Paulina Rousseau debut her first collection at Copenhagen Fashion Week. She is a London-based designer that specialises in knitwear, and I really love the designs that she produces using knitwear because they're not just jumpers. You know, when you think of knitwear, you think of a jumper, right? A cardigan, something cozy. But she does these like really amazing corsets, really fun, really wearable collection. PLN provided some controversy with blood splattered pieces and all the models wearing mouth guards, which in itself was a bit odd. Some of the makeup looked like the models had been through a round of GBH, grievous bodily harm. I mean, it was a bit unnerving, but I guess that was the point. And Ganni closed Copenhagen Fashion Week, debuting some collaborations with model Paloma Elsesser, New Balance, and Ace and Tate, I had to Google them, glasses company. So those we're going to be seeing more of in the coming months. Guys, if you are new here, my name is Cassie, I'm a self-diagnosed luxury addict. I put out videos on Mondays, Wednesdays and Fridays, so if you like luxury fashion, then you're going to love it here. So head down there, subscribe, turn on the bell, become a member of our luxury addicted family. When are we going to rehab? Never. Also, I have a podcast now, so links will be below. It's called The Podcast. Lol. Anyway, okay. Piece of news number 2. Sotheby's is going to be having their first fashion icon sale. And when we talk about fashion icons, Sotheby's is not disappointing us. There's going to be 10 pieces in total. A couple are were worn by Princess Diana. So you've got a 1981 sweater. It's called the Black Sheep sweater that she wore to a polo match. That is expected to fetch around $80,000. And then also there is a Murray Arbide black and white gown. It's like a sleeveless gown that sort of has like a white sort of poof detail at the bottom. That was worn to Prince Edward's 21st birthday, and I believe that she wore that in 1985. Real pieces of fashion history. Now, we also have Michelle Obama's vintage 1960s Norman Norell black gown that she wore to, I think it was like a Christmas sort of party of sorts. Now, that was the first time that she was spotted wearing a vintage piece for a public event. We also have a vintage Brussels lace veil worn by Madonna in Vanity Fair. And finally, do we remember the bird? The bird that Carrie wore to her what was meant to be her scheduled wedding in the first Sex and the City movie. Okay, the blue bird, right? Turns out that's actually a taxidermied bird from, I think like the 1800s or something. By the by. Anyway, she wore it with the fabulous Vivienne Westwood gown. That is also going to be up for auction, the exact one that Sarah Jessica Parker wore, and that is expected to go for between £31,000 and £55,000. So the auction goes live on August the 31st and ends on September the 14th. And I believe that the icon sale is something that they're going to be doing on a bit of a regular basis. Fashion business news. Tapestry buys Capri Holdings. If anything that I just said went in one ear and out the other, let me break it down. Tapestry is the parent company that owns Coach, Kate Spade, Stuart Weitzman, okay? Very big US-based fashion company. Capri Holdings is the parent company for Versace, Michael Kors, Jimmy Choo. Tapestry has bought Capri Holdings, right, and they are now, Tapestry is set to be the biggest fashion parent company in the US, wanting to sort of go head to head with the likes of your LVMH, your Kering. It's like David and Goliath, but They're sort of wanting to establish themselves with their new acquisitions. They're really going a little bit more high-end luxury with the Versace and the Jimmy Choo. Previously, they've sort of been very good at doing what they've done with Coach and Kate Spade, a bit more of the accessible price point, and now they've got to sort of figure out what's their strategy going to be for these bit more sort of established brands in luxury fashion. Apparently, Michael Kors is a bit of a problem child as a brand because they haven't really put out any sort of fresh, interesting bag designs for the brand, and also they rely heavily on department stores and the sort of sales that they do. Now, a lot of people were panicking when this was announced because they're like, oh my gosh, you know, Coach now owns Versace. And it doesn't mean that Versace is now going to become Coach, right? It just means that they have the same parent company, and maybe their sort of internal organisation and strategies are going to change. Donatella is still behind it. And thought I'd drop this in there because yes, it is news. Loewe is discontinuing the puzzle bag. I did a whole video on this. I shall have it linked below. It's terrible, terrible news. I don't know what they're doing, but that's none of my business. Moving into new and noteworthy. Okay. Chanel is coming out with a new bag for their fall-winter 2023-2024 collection. This is due early to mid-September, so imminently, right? And I wanted to go through the nitty-gritty of the details. I don't know if this is going to become a little bit more of a permanent piece, but undeniably, this bag style is going to be, you're going to be seeing it like all over your social medias, all of that. It's going to be a big one. So my job is to keep you up to speed, and that is what I am delivering. So this is a reissued vintage style. It was called the Kelly bag. I actually don't think it has an established name. As we know, Chanel likes to do like the 90 and the 22, all of that. Maybe if it becomes a permanent piece, then it will sort of have a name. Margot Robbie was spotted wearing two of these during the Barbie press tour, one in pink, one in black, so we had like a little bit of a hint of it. I think it looks really good. Anyway, comes in 3 sizes. The micro, the small, and the large. And it's this sort of like, you know, trapezoidally shape. You have these flat top handles that are quite thick, little CC, flap that closes the bag with a turn lock. Inside there is a zip pouch at the back, little sort of unzipped pouch at the front, and there is a chain strap. It's not detachable, but you can tuck it in if you want to do a top handle moment. It's going to be in lambskin. In terms of colours, there are rumours of black, coral, light pink, red, white. I think that's it. Yes, that's it. Like I said, fall winter 2023/24. In terms of pricing, the only thing I could find is for the size small, $4,400. I'm sorry, I've only got it in dollars. If I like do a bit of from what I know of Chanel pricing, that's going to be just under £4,000. That's where we're about. Claire Keller, I always thought it was right. Anyway, for Uniqlo, we've got quite a few high-low collaborations, so stick with me. You may know her as the last creative director for Givenchy before Matthew Williams, who we currently have. Also the first female creative director for Givenchy. Now, since then, she's been laying low. Turns out she's been working on a collaboration with Uniqlo. It's going to launch on the 15th of September on Uniqlo website and in stores. Now, the vibe is very the row, but affordable pricing. So if the row is your vibe, if you like that sort of minimalist, well-tailored, clean look, really nice knitwear, stuff like that, save your coins for this collection. Peter Doe is collaborating with Banana Republic. Be ready to hear the name Peter Doe a lot. This man is a busy man. He's a hard-working man. He has his own line, Peter Doe, that shows at New York Fashion Week. He is also now the creative director of Helmut Lang, which was seeing his debut this New York Fashion Week, and he's doing this collaboration with Banana Republic. Now, from what I've sort of understood, Banana Republic doesn't really do a lot of these sorts of collaborations, and definitely not with a designer like Peter Doe, as in somebody who's very sort of like high-end luxury fashion. This is going to be available in October on the Banana Republic website. Expect rework trenches. Very neutrals. He always has a very neutrals palette. Classic pieces with a bit of a twist. I think that's what to expect. Telfar collaborated with Melissa. Melissa is the rubber shoe brand that smells like bubblegum. If you've ever had the pleasure of smelling one of her shoes, it sounds weird, I know, okay? But believe me, they smell phenomenal. They smell really, really good. But that's not what this is about. Telfar has collaborated with Melissa. The collaboration consisted of 3 sizes of the Telfar tote bag, all in rubber. The bag is very sort of like beach pool appropriate. Maybe we're a bit too late in the summer for that. But anyway, and then there is also like a rubber strappy flat sandal, very easy sort of, you know, jelly shoe vibe. It launched in mid-July in the clear. And then they are also relaunching it in pink, black and brown. I actually think the brown is really nice. It looks like a Coke bottle. You know, you understand. This is going to be on the Telfar site and the Melissa site. Bit of a tip here, everybody's going to go to the Telfar site. So if I think this might be out after it's launched, go to Melissa because they might have more stock. And the final collaboration we have, Audemars Piguet has collaborated with 1017 Alex 9SM. Matthew Williams' brand. That is not an easy brand to say every time. Also creative director of Givenchy, by the way. They have basically come out with a collection of 2 Royal Oaks and 2 Royal Oak offshores. The whole premise is that it's like as minimal as it can get, even though the actual product is very loud. These are all only going to be available in white or yellow gold. So you've got face sizes ranging from 37 to 42 millimeters. In terms of pricing, because I know that's what everybody likes to hear. So for the full 18 karat yellow gold Royal Oak in the smallest size, starting at $73,500. And for the offshore, which again is going to be entirely white gold, yellow gold, 18 karat, but this also does come with a rubber strap. It's a bit more of a sporty look. I think there's going to be 75 made. I'm not sure if that is across both gold colours or each will have 75. And that, you're well over 100,000 for that. Yeah, it's... how does that feel going down? Right, hot new luxury. Do it with me. Okay, Saint Laurent deli bags. As we are loving bags that look like food packaging, Saint Laurent has said, I gave you the takeaway box. I give you the deli bag too. The leather deli bag has actually been around since this bag has. It's been part of the men's collection and it's been extremely underrated. Nobody knows about it, nobody talks about it. We should all be ashamed of ourselves because it's really cute. I mean, it's just a leather sack with the little YSL monograms, and you just scrunch it down to hold. There's a hole in there, there's no separation, throw your things in and off you go. I just love how it's a bit more of a low-key vibe than something like this. So that is in the tan and the black, but also they now have a silver. Moving on to, this is a bit of a rogue one, the Prada Dividable Keychain. I was meant to talk about Prada candles in this. I was like, oh, Prada, you know, does candles, great gift, blah, blah, blah. And then I stumbled across this and I was like, this is actually genius. So you have 2 key rings, okay? One is silver, metal, black enamel. The other is gold, metal, white enamel. And they lock together. Tell me why this is the most genius gift for maybe your partner. Maybe you're moving in together, maybe you live together, something like this. It's like the old school best friend heart necklaces, okay? But really bougie. And Prada. It's such a brilliant idea. It's an excellent gift for both them and you, because you get one half of it. Why have I not seen this before? They lock in together. I love it. I think it's brilliant. I had to mention it. And finally, I wanted to sort of do like a brand to watch instead of a item for the last one, Dividable. Dividable is an Italian shoe brand, and I sort of only really saw them in person in Harrods the last time I was in London, and I really liked the boots. However, I do predict that we will be hearing even more about them because they were sort of like called on by Beyonce's team to design boots for her tour. So I believe they have designed over 12 boots, custom boots for Beyonce for the Renaissance tour, adorned in crystals. There's like a cargo one, there's a camo one, there was like a silver reflective. Absolutely stunning. They do generally do really nice boots with crystals. They do other sort of like little mules with crystals. They are one to watch and keep a bit of an eye on. There you go. Let me know what you thought of the news this time. I'm going to leave a link to another video over here in case you haven't already seen it. Have an amazing morning, afternoon or evening wherever you are. And in the words of my father,
if you've enjoyed it, tell your friends. If you haven't, keep your mouth shut.
I'll see you in my next video. Mwah. Bye guys.